I come once again to speak, to share truth and upliftment for my brothers and sisters upon the earthly plane. I wish to share my perceptions on what is divine consciousness compared to the consciousness of the material mind and the material experiences that you have upon the earthly plane. This, of course, is a very difficult subject to speak of and to share these truths because we are communicating from soul consciousness and you are receiving through a combination of mind and soul consciousness, primarily from your mind. Words cannot convey truth adequately through this means of communication, but I will make some effort to help you understand my reality and the reality of those within the celestial kingdom, for those who have entered this kingdom have released all vestiges of the mind, the material mind, and have fully integrated the soul mind and soul consciousness. Thus, when I speak to you, beloved souls, I speak of matters of the soul, primarily. There are many occasions when you take my words and interpret them with your material minds and understand what I convey from that perspective. This invariably distorts the message. This is why we repeat ourselves and make our message simple so that the very rudimentary truths of God are understood clearly by your mind. There are times when your soul assists you in this understanding and brings different and higher levels of consciousness forward so that you may see more clearly that which is of truth. We assist you in this when possible. God assists you in this always, for God wishes for you to awaken to the truth. In order to awaken to the truth, you must use the faculties of your soul to truly understand and perceive what it is that is of God, for God is purely of soul, is He not? God does not have a material mind. God exists outside of those conditions and consciousness. God's consciousness envelops all. His awareness envelops all of the universe. Certainly, within your limited reality, the understanding of this reflects these limitations. Thus, humanity often feels very removed from God, for their consciousness is primarily of the material and linear deductions which come from the material mind. Each of you are seeking to go beyond that consciousness which is the material mind to something that is of the soul. Your progress is marked by the amount of God's essence, that great elixir of His soul that enters into your soul, awakening those abilities and levels of perception that reflect the soul. Indeed, there are none of you upon the earth who are adequately equipped to truly see and experience from that soul place the truth of God and the truths that He wishes to convey to you. Thus, we are limited by our communication, using words and aspects of the material mind, combined with some inklings of the soul, in order to understand that which we wish to convey and that which God conveys through us to you. We are filled with love for you, beloved souls. We have infinite patience and persistence in our efforts to reach each of you and to reach all upon this planet. Because of the great changes that are coming, there will be more opportunities and openings for the soul to understand truth. Yet, there is a great resistance within humanity which originates from the mind's desire to control and to be dominant within the consciousness of the individual. Few truly understand the power of this edict that comes from the mind. But indeed, each of you struggle with this duality within and make great attempts to connect your present consciousness with that of your soul consciousness. At times, you are very successful in this. At other times, it seems like a great failure, a great struggle that cannot bring about the realization of this goal. If you persist, beloved souls, you will have some insight into what the soul consciousness is and what is continuing to awaken within you. You are urged to pray often in order to receive the great essence of God, stimulating and strengthening those things within your soul. We in the celestial kingdom have gone beyond this struggle. It is far behind us. Although I was born with a purified soul and did not need to struggle to attain purity, yet, all others who are within the kingdom have had this struggle and can relate to your own struggle, beloved souls, yet have won the battle, so to speak, between the mind and the soul. As the soul continues to grow, it sparks greater consciousness within the individual. Insights come. What you call downloads of information come. An understanding that is more of a multidimensional nature, helping you to understand in a deeper way an issue or a situation in your world. It comes as a result of the consciousness of your soul, bringing clearly through this experience, this insight into your mind. For those of us in the celestial kingdom, there is no such process that exists. Our consciousness is purely that of the soul. When the soul envelops all that you are in its consciousness and its light and its being, then you are prepared to enter into the kingdom of God, the celestial kingdom. How we communicate with one another, our motivations, our thoughts, if you will, our actions, our interactions, all of these things are entirely different from what you experience on the earthly plane. Since there is no true physicality in our reality, merely the brightness of the soul that chooses to manifest the image of a body that has long passed, that has existed in the physical world but does not need to exist in the celestial kingdom, yet in the lower spheres in the celestial kingdom, each individual continues to carry this image, so to express that image of their identity in the celestial kingdom. As they progress into higher spheres of this kingdom, often the material image is unnecessary, for the consciousness of the soul easily identifies each individual, and through the perceptions of the soul, can communicate one with another readily and with great ease. There is certainly no need for words or imagery that is common in your world, because the reality of my world is so very different and cannot truly be described. Yet, when we come to the earthly plane, traveling through the many layers of the spirit world, coming to the material world in order for you to know us and identify us, we express our physical image. In many respects, we dampen down our energies, our light, so that you can tolerate our presence, that there is a greater rapport and comfort between us. If I were to express my full self to you, it would be very uncomfortable for you to witness and to be close to my being as it exists in the celestial kingdom. The powers of the divine are expressed fully through me, although I continue to progress in this way, and shall do so for all eternity. There has been a recent question of whether I can be with you and that I am always with you, as I have stated. In truth, I am with you, beloved souls, but that presence is a reflection of my soul, the consciousness of my soul that has forged a bond, a relationship with each of you. I have a deep desire to forge a bond with every soul upon this world. As you judge these abilities through your mind and the limited capacities of your consciousness, you would deduce that this is not possible, for your consciousness is very limited in its ability to focus its awareness in this way. Though, it can indeed and has the potential to open up to multiple experiences and awareness at any given time. To do this in your life at present would be to completely disorient your momentary experience in life to the point where it would cause you great distress and have somewhat permanent negative effects upon you. These things only come to those who are prepared for them. That preparation comes with a soul awakening and your adjustments as the soul awakens incrementally. But I urge you to be humble in this, not to make false assumptions about what soul consciousness is or how much of soul consciousness do you truly know. How much of me do you truly know, who I am and what I am, for I am far closer to the divine than you, beloved souls. Yet, when I come to you, to those who can perceive me, often I seem human with a body that is of spirit, great love and compassion for you all, a beautiful man that existed 2,000 years ago. Yet, I have grown in the past 2,000 years. The light of my soul has expanded. My consciousness has the great ability to encompass the consciousness of God and the consciousness of His universe and creation. If I gave you but a small insight into this, you would be overwhelmed by it. But I can assure you, beloved souls, that you too will enter into this consciousness with a soul awakened and resplendent with great light, perceptions, and awareness, great love, and many, many gifts as you continue to strive toward that which will qualify you to enter the kingdom. In the meantime, understand that your perceptions of truth are very limited indeed, that your capacity to understand, even yourself, is limited by a mind that is cluttered and distorted and without true perceptions which only the soul mind can give. Yet, you continue to strive toward the purification and transformation of your soul so that someday you may share in the wondrous consciousness that comes with a soul redeemed and in alignment with God. There is much that comes with this. Your capacity to understand life through soul consciousness would be multidimensional and extraordinary in its ability and wisdom so that you may see those dilemmas and challenges that you face today as small indeed, compared to the great journey that you are on toward at-one-ment with God. You will see others from this perspective and see deeply within them, seeing their beauty and that which is not beautiful, seeing their motives, their desires, those parts that are mature and those parts that are immature in every respect. Are you ready for such perceptions, beloved souls? For to truly see the world as it is a shocking experience for those who are naive and those who are blind. Yet with the power of our souls' perceptions, we see everything. In many respects, we see everything simultaneously, which for a soul that is not strong in God's love, would be overwhelming. Yet with the power of love within our souls and the strength of our consciousness, to put this in human terms, is to say that we know who we are. In this knowing there also comes a great strength that protects us from the disorientation of which I speak. We are able to enter into your earthly plane and not come away with effects that are damaging to us. Although, as we adjust to the earthly plane, we are leaving behind much of the true expression of our souls. To answer a question which many of you are curious about, indeed, we only project a part of ourselves when we are present with you. That projection comes from our souls, who are within the celestial kingdom, which through our abilities, are projecting a portion of ourselves onto the earth plane as we work with you all. So indeed, we are not fully present with you, but we are present. Our consciousness is present with you, beloved souls. Yet, our light is weakened and more subtle than that which is truly who we are. This statement in my mind reinforces the need for portals in order for our celestial friends to project themselves easily to our plane of existence. There are times when we do come in all our splendor and beauty. When there is a purpose and a mission to be fulfilled, so we come in this way. Though we are not vulnerable to the dark conditions of the world when we come fully into your world, we must spend time upon our return to our home, to release those conditions that may surround us as a result of our interaction here on your earthly plane. This does not require in your minds the concept of days or hours or weeks, but merely moments. But still, a price is paid for this. So we can project a portion of ourselves upon the earthly plane. Know that that price is very minimal indeed as a result of the gift and effort that we make. Yet nothing is lost when we are not fully present with you, for you feel the power of love and you come to know our personality, our presence close to you. This is our loving gift and God's blessing upon you. As the world changes, so the ability for us to fully be present in the earthly plane will increase and be much more readily expressed. Yet, for us to make contact with humanity, we who are now not human as you think of humanity, must utilize what you might consider our bag of tricks in order to be present and known among you. Even to communicate through this instrument, which I am doing and doing to my satisfaction and delight, I am not fully in rapport with him. Or shall I say that, all of me is not in rapport with him? Yet, we are able to sustain a communication and a rapport which is powerful, helping to bring more clearly the words which reflect the truth through him. My bond with him is powerful. That bond has grown over many, many years. When he became aware of my first visitation, I manifest in bright light and a good portion of myself present with him, making a deep impression, a memory that shall never leave him. We can indeed make our presence known in a powerful way. But as I say, it must have purpose. It is not given readily or easily to the individual. It is a reflection of their longing, their soul's longing and their soul's purpose. My presence with him set him upon a very deliberate course in his life and served to bolster his resolve, especially when that resolve was weakened by the various experiences of life that are inevitable in this material world. Thus, I came to him with the expression of my deep love for him and the desire that he may fulfill his destiny as a soul in service of God. There are many in the past, the present and in the future who will have such a soul-stirring experiences, not necessarily with me, but with God and other angels, whatever is needed and necessary in order to awaken that soul's understanding that they have purpose, that they have a mission to fulfill. Those experiences will proliferate in the coming years as the transformation of the earth continues to be implemented, for there are many souls who are waiting to be awakened, waiting to understand their purpose and their mission. As God deems that it is necessary for such manifestations, so we comply and are a part of God's will, in such manifestations. The power of our presence upon the earthly plane is partly determined by your desire to have us close, your prayers to bring you closer to God, and the unfolding of God's plan that at certain times draws you into experiences and manifestations that are of God, that which awakens your soul and your consciousness to who you truly are, and what you have to offer the world as God has implanted many gifts into each soul. It is our desire to help God awaken those gifts, but they must be done so in compliance with the laws of love. The power of the divine love within your soul determines much. Then, through God's loving ministrations and compassion, He awakens you gradually so that you are not disturbed or shocked by that which opens and unfolds within your consciousness. As with everything that is of God, there is harmony. We can do much for you, beloved souls, but we do so with restraint, with compassion, with a finesse and delicacy that ensures that you are in harmony with your own soul's desires and mental limitations. Thus, we do not circumvent free will within you. Merely, what we are allowed to do to help you is determined by what you wish of us and of God. It is rare indeed that the soul is awakened in a dramatic way, but this does happen on occasion. That awakening can come with our presence to help you birth the consciousness of the soul and the blessing of God on all of this. There are many of you who long for dramatic experiences, powerful soul awakenings, the confirmation of the truths that we have given. Indeed, all of these things are possible provided the right conditions are in place, for within us is the capacity to awaken you in this way. It is readily available to us to do so, but we cannot circumvent the laws of love, the law of free will, those laws that determine your receptivity and ability to awaken and to awaken even in a very limited way. It is one thing to desire and pray for an awakening, to have within your mind the idea set on what awakening is, but it is another to be in alignment, an agreement between your soul and your mind to allow such an experience to manifest in a conscious way. Consider this, beloved souls, consider that there is much within you that is often contrary and contradictory, and that unless you are aware of this and make efforts to forge a harmonious alignment within your conscious self, it is difficult for the consciousness of the soul to be accessed by the rigidity and power of the consciousness of the mind. Many of you feel unworthy, or cheated even, because these things do not manifest with you and within you. But it is solely of your determination, my friends. God does not withhold anything from you, but God will not give to you that which you are not ready to receive. The great challenge that you have is to acknowledge the consciousness of your soul. A consciousness that is young, continuing to grow, and is tender and vulnerable. In some respects, your mind moves forward to protect you from that vulnerability, that sense that you are indeed vulnerable. Yet, when the time is right and you are strong enough, and eager enough, that you desire in a fullness that is all-encompassing to be truly open to the truths of God and the experience that God wishes to give to you in order that you may know these truths, then the door shall swing open readily and you will come to your revelations, beloved souls. Have faith in this. Have faith in that which God has to give to you, abundantly and beautifully. The sweet fruits of consciousness are available to every soul, but the soul must first recognize and then embrace these things for them to become fully conscious. The mind must be humble and open and receptive, the true desires present within the mind of the soul, so that the material mind may come into alignment, opening that passageway of consciousness so that God's true touch that awakens the soul may step forth and bring an experience that is powerful and affirms the truth in a way that it cannot be contradicted or disbelieved. Though the mind may regress back into its doubts, these experiences will remain alive within you, the flower of truth that will always be fresh and beautiful, and that your mind may return to it at will. That flower in time will become a bouquet, a gift from God that will bring to you any number of experiences that will affirm the truth, will give you an insight into truth and the power of God's love for you and the power of our love for you. It comes slowly, incrementally, and not without its struggles. But those of you who have walked this path for a good portion of your life, know that there are times when this sweet blessing from God is bestowed upon you and you feel its upliftment, its fragrance, its sweetness within your consciousness. It will come, often at times when you least expect it, times when the guard of your mind is less, and you are more open and, in some ways, more vulnerable to the expressions of your soul and the communications of God's soul to your soul. There will be times when you will feel us more readily, powerfully, feeling our love, our light, and know us, all a part of God's creation, the beauty of His reality, the beauty of His being that is expressed in so many ways. These expressions are in multitudes upon multitudes that until your soul is capable and dominates your consciousness, the ideas and inklings of these expressions cannot truly be understood. Even when they are experienced and acknowledged by the soul, to put these things into words and material consciousness would be a formidable task if not impossible. I have not said much about the consciousness of my soul and who I am, truly am, as a being, but what I have said constitutes a beginning to help you understand. In the future, I may share more. My concern is that these things that I share are more valuable to the mind and sustaining the mind's consciousness than they are to awakening your soul. These details are things that your mind often feeds upon. My hope is that it will inspire you further to seek the awakening of your soul, that it will assure the mind that all is well, that the journey of the soul is what is important and necessary at this time. That with this journey, the mind will be infilled with wondrous insights and experiences that will come as the soul awakens, and you will get a glimpse of what it is to be a celestial, the consciousness of a soul fully redeemed and transformed by God's love. That consciousness will grow for all eternity. The expansion of our souls continues, though in many ways we are transformed, and yet, there is ever more to come, awakening deeper aspects of our being, adding greater light, greater capacity for perception and experience of the divine. We are not finished. We see you as the tender shoots that emerge on the earthly plane. We see and acknowledge the wonderment of God's creation within you and how through your soul's desires, you open and seek the truth, the awakening, the fulfillment of God's promise to be truly fulfilled in His love. You are all beautiful souls. I urge you to continue upon the road toward transformation and awakening, that you find yourself in that beautiful meadow of God's consciousness shared with you but a drop of what it is. In this revelation of life, the wonderment of life will grow within you, within your conscious self, and you will come to know wonders, to see beyond the material to all that which is of God's universe and of a different material nature. You will come to see the purpose and value of all things that God has created. You will come to feel love, overwhelming love for your brothers and sisters, for a rock and a flower and an animal, for all of God's creatures. You will feel a deep love and reverence. The consciousness of the soul continues to grow within you. You will find yourself seeing the world differently, seeing yourself differently, and seeing God differently. Do not allow the rigidity of your mind to restrict this, but to be resplendent and free within this consciousness of the soul and all that it entails. We will be by your side to help you open to this consciousness and to help you integrate and absorb the revelations that will come with it. To help you exercise the gifts of your soul and the faculties of your soul, helping you in your prayers and your journey toward God. All these things are given in love. We come to you as we are able to come close. Do not think that because I have explained the truth of the matter that we are not close or that you are not benefiting by our presence. Rather, God makes possible this relationship that we share. The love within your soul affirms it. This relationship shall continue to grow, and we will continue to be more powerfully within your world and your life. It unfolds in accordance to God's laws and God's plan. We find ourselves all within the joy and harmony that is this plan and is His will. This grows within you as well, beloved souls, as you continue to step upon the journey, as you continue to understand the depth and breadth of this journey. May we walk hand in hand, beloveds. May we find ourselves in the dazzling light of His love and presence, and with joy, affirm that we are truly His children. God bless you, beloveds. I am your brother. I am your friend. I do truly walk with you. I am Jesus and I love you. God bless you, beloved souls.